Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a quick update on my angelfish here. My regular viewers will know that this angelfish used to be in my 125 gallon New World tank, and while I was actually shooting a video the other day, I noticed for the first time this angelfish showing really aggressive behavior towards its tank mates. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with my tanks, this is the tank it came out of, and it's a 125 gallon tank. It's got all, or mostly I should say, New World fish in it. And the angelfish has been in this tank for a couple of years now. It's kind of grown up with all these fish, and it's never really shown any signs of aggression whatsoever. There's even another cichlid in this tank. This is the one exception to this tank. That is a West African fish. That's a spotted tilapia. But the angelfish got along just fine with everybody in the tank for years and years, and then one day it just became really aggressive and started chasing everybody around the tank. And so I kept my eye on it for the rest of the day. Every time I stuck my head in the room and checked, it was still engaging in that same aggressive behavior. It was chasing everybody around the tank and was terrorizing that entire 125 gallon tank. So initially I was going to remove it and put it in my 40 breeder, this tank right here, which is basically empty. It's got some algae eaters in it, and then it's got some rubber lip plecos in it, but for the most part they just hide all day, and I think that angelfish would look really good swimming around in here, and it may still end up in there. I may still move it over here. I'm not 100% sure, but when I was pulling it out of the tank I had it in, the 125 gallon tank, I got the idea of putting it in this tank because all I've really got in this tank is the schooling diamond tetras, and that angelfish just looks absolutely fantastic in here with those diamond tetras. And so far I've not seen any aggression whatsoever. It doesn't seem to be bothering the tetras. It's not bothering the catfish I have on the bottom. I have a couple fish on the bottom that are fairly reclusive. We don't see very often. One of them is a South American bumblebee catfish. I also have a little Synodontis lucipinnis catfish down there. I've got two Siamese algae eaters. You can see one of them hiding in the plants right there. In fact, you can see both of them hiding in the plants right there. And the angelfish is not bothering any of them. The only fish that had any issue was the guppies that I threw in here, and that is because my tank with my puffer in it is just getting overrun with guppies, and so I took a couple of netfuls out and I put them in this tank. And yes, a lot of the little smaller fry did become angelfish food, but the larger ones have survived, and they're now wisely staying up near the surface and kind of staying out of everybody's way. And so we'll see how that plays out. But I did want to do an update here on this angelfish and let everybody know that I did remove that angelfish from that 125 gallon tank before anybody got injured or the aggression became too much. And on a final note, for my regular viewers who follow along and know that I've been trying to get that piece of wood to sink, you can see I gave up trying to get it to sink naturally, and I put a big rock on top of it, and that is holding it down. And the moment I did so, my pleco, whose tail we can see sticking out right there, it's about 8 or 9 inches long. It's honestly a little too big for this tank. But that's been in there grazing and scraping and chewing on this piece of wood ever since I got it down near the bottom. It was probably getting out and getting on the wood at night because I could tell the wood was getting scraped clean. Just not as clean as it is now that it's down here on the bottom like this. I think that's absolutely stunning. I love it. I'm so happy with this piece of wood. That's the original piece of wood that was in the tank before I just added this larger piece, and you can see that too is scraped very clean. So those plecos get in there and they really scrape that wood. A lot of them need the wood fiber in their diet to help with their digestion. They don't necessarily eat it as food, but they do need that wood fiber as part of their digestion. And of course they are scraping all of that surface growth off of the wood, and that is serving as a good meal for them. So it's always good to have wood in your tank if you've got any kind of pleco or scraping sucker type fish. Always keep some wood in there for them. So that's it, everybody. That's my update on my 55-gallon tank. My angelfish is now safe and sound, and my piece of woodwork is down on the bottom of the tank, hopefully soaking up some water. So thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. I'll see you real soon in the next one.